Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial. We are looking at how to model rig and then animate legs in Blender. So we modeled the legs and now we are going to look at the rig. So let's jump into Blender and see how the rig is created. This is a rig that I have already completed, so I want to show you what you're getting into. So you have this hip control which will make the character sit. This control, we are in pose mode by the way. We can move the character wherever we want him in the scene. Then we have one control here to lift the foot up and rotate it sideways. Okay. Then we have a knee control. So we can move the knee around. This is going to make the foot bend at the toes. And this one is going to make the foot lift from the ground. Okay, so we're going to look at how to create this setup. I'm going to open the file leg tutorial, and you can see that I need to rotate this -90 degrees, and I'll go to object. Before I do that, I will apply the mirror modifier and then go to object, apply rotation. So everything is zeroed out. So I'll save this one, and we need to create bones. So we'll go to add armature single bone. All right. So we have armature. I will call this legs armature. The legs armature, we have a bone, and I'll call it waist bone. Okay. So here, what happens is that I will also turn on viewport display wireframe so we know where it is. And this bone, if you go to data properties on this running man, we'll go to viewport display and we'll put it in front, so the bones will always be in the front. So this bone will make the character sit. So the orientation of the bone is the head is here and the tail is up. So the rig will go from here up and here down. Okay. Now we'll hit the tab key, or we'll go to edit mode, and then we will extrude, E to extrude, and then we'll create a bone here. Then we will extrude down and create a bone and ankle. I'll go to the side view and place it in the right place. So this is somewhere my ankle is, and I'll extrude this out all the way here. Then I can subdivide this bone and move it here for our toe bend, and we will subdivide this bone and place it slightly in the front. So we can move this slightly in the back. We can move this whole setup in the back. So there is like a front bend in the knee. Okay. So this is our bone setup, and then this bone I don't need. I'll delete this bone. And now if I go to pose mode, you can see that this bone is separate. It's not connected to this. So I'll go back to edit mode, select this, shift select this, and control P to parent it and keep the offset. So when we go to pose mode, they all move. Okay. Once we do the IK setup, then when we move this, then the bone will not go down. All right. So now once this setup is done, we need to rename our bones. So we have waist 2, and then I will go here and turn the names on so you know. So this is the waist. The waist 2 is upper leg. This is lower leg. You can rename the bones whatever you want, but if you have the bones renamed, it is easy to work in the later stages. So the last one is called toe. Alright, now what we need to do is we need to create the setup for inverse kinematics. So I'm going to select this and hit the E key to extrude, and I'll hit the Y key so that it's straight in the Y direction. And this bone I'm going to go to Alt key and I'm going to clear the parent. Okay, and I can go here and we can name this I key. Okay, now we will select this E, Y, and I'm going to Alt P on this also and clear parent and move it out. This is going to be our knee roll. Alright, so this will move the knee around and this will be the IK. So how we do the IK is we have to go in pose mode. We select the IK, shift select the lower bone and then shift I to active bone. Okay, and if you select this bone and then you go here in the pose mode, you will get the constraints, and we have added a constraint for the IK. So if you select this, now the bone is moving up. Now what we need to make sure is that our IK chain is only affected until the second bone, not the top bone. So we'll select this, and here the chain length has to be 2. So if you select this and move it up, now our hip bone is not moving. Okay. Now what we need to do is when we select this, the knee should be moving. So we'll select this and then pole target, we will select the legs armature and then bone is knee roll. Okay, so we can name this knee pole. Alright, so now when I move this up, I can now move it sideways. Now what we want is we don't want this bone to move down, or if I move this down, we don't want this to happen. Nothing should go below the foot. So again we'll go to the side view, we'll go to edit mode, we'll select this bone and extrude a bone. We will go to Alt P, or we can go in relation and remove the parent. So it's not parented to anything, and we will name this foot roll. Okay, now we want to create IK. So how do you do constraints? Is you go to pose mode, select this bone, go to constraints, add constraints and inverse kinematics, and the target is always legs armature and the bone is going to be the foot roll, and the chain length has to be only 1. Okay, now what we have done is because of that one bone IK, now when we move this, the leg is not going down, but when I lift this, the entire leg should go up. So I need to select this in edit mode, select this bone, shift select this bone and hit Ctrl P, keep offset. So now this is parented. So if you go to pose mode and select this and move up, everything moves up correctly, and when things move down, nothing goes below the foot. Okay, now what we want is we want the ability for the foot to roll from here as well. So again we'll go to the side view, go to edit mode, select this, E to extrude in Z direction, and we will again remove the parenting, or you can do Alt P, same thing. This is going to be roll. And again, select this, shift select this. In pose mode, select this, shift select this, and shift I to active bone. And again, constraint, we added the constraint and we selected these two automatically. We will use 1. Okay, and again, select this. Again, go to edit mode, shift select this and hit Control P to make the parent. Now what we have done is we have selected this bone which can roll or lift the foot. This bone will roll from there. And now what we want is the heel to be able to tap. Okay, so again we'll go to the side view. We can select any bone. I'll select this one and duplicate it. Edit mode, shift D to duplicate, and we will name this bone heel. Okay, and then this part has to be at the heel from where it can roll, and then we also have to make sure that it is in the center of the leg. And then we select this, shift select this and Control P. So this becomes the boss bone. This is going to be the bone that we will be selecting in pose mode to move the whole leg up. Okay, and we will select this bone for the roll, and we will select this bone for this movement. And that is where we complete our bone setup. Now what we need to do is go to edit mode again, select all these bones, go to armature, names, auto rename left right, so all of them get L. Then you go to armature, symmetrize, and the same thing is copied onto the other side, and it is all linked. We'll save our file, go to pose mode, you can select this, the bones are moving down, everything is working fine. Now what we need to do is first we will get rid of the names because we don't need the names anymore. If you go to the properties, this bone is not going to deform, so all the bones that are only used as controls, this is also used as control, this is a control, this is a control. These are not going to deform the geometry or the skin. These are only there to make the functionality of the leg right. So we will remove those deformations. Okay, and again I'll save the file. Now what we do is go to object mode, select our skin, shift select the bones, Control P to do automatic weight parenting. We'll select this and again remove the in front. And now we'll see, go to pose mode, we select this, the legs are bending, we are able to lift the leg, we are able to lift the leg from here. This will do this, this will do this, this will do this. Okay, so everything looks great now. We will now go to object mode, add mesh and torus. So we'll create the actual physical controls that will be seen in the for selecting and manipulating instead of having these bones. So I'll use 12-sided torus, and this will be 0.05, so very thin, and that is good. So I'll remove this here, and now we want to convert this bone into the torus. So you go here and then under viewport display you select torus, then we have to rotate it 90 degrees, then you can scale the size, say 0.5, we can make it wireframe. Okay, and then we have to repeat this for each of these bones. We'll have to do it in pose mode, torus 90 degrees, 0.5, wireframe. We don't need this anymore, the scene, so we can delete it. Go to pose mode, select this, torus 90 degrees, 0.5, small, wireframe. Same thing with this, torus 90 degrees, 0.5, wireframe. We need one more bone so that we can select the entire armature and move it around. So I can select this bone, go to edit mode, shift E, and move it down to the ground, and we will name this bone leg control. Then pose mode, we should be able to select this bone, select this, shift select this, control P, keep offset, go to parent it, then it should be able to, okay, so we will have to bring all the bones in the front and everything in edit mode, keep offset, everything that is not moving, pose mode has to be connected to that bone. All these controls, keep offset, okay, and then that moves the entire character. So we will go back and select our torus for this also, .90 degrees, wireframe, and I can make it thinner if you want, and then we will keep doing this for these. Torus 90 degrees, wireframe 0.5, this torus 0.5, 90 degrees, wireframe. wireframe. This torus 0.2 wireframe. This torus 0.2 wireframe. And this one also torus 90 degrees at 5 wireframe. Then this one we can also move it up somewhere there. Okay, now what we can do is select all the controls, shift, hit the M key and put it in another layer, and we can activate that layer. So now we only have saved this file. All the controls, we are in pose mode. We can move this down, we can move this up. Now the other thing is these are not going to rotate, these are only going to move. So we'll lock the scale and lock the rotations. So these will be locked, so these can only move, so we cannot rotate them. Okay, even if we try, it will not work. This will do everything. We can scale our character big or small, we can rotate our character any direction, we can move it, so that is fine. This one we will use it for rotating. This rotation is of no use, so we'll lock that rotation. This is important, and even this can be used. Okay, this will move, it will not scale. None of these are going to be scaled. No scaling. But if you scale this, everything else should still scale. Okay, so we need to lock all these, and this is not going to move, so we'll lock the movement of these. And it will only rotate in one axis, which is this, unless you want this action, but it will not rotate this way. So no x-axis, only y. This is z. This is fine. Y and z we don't need x. We don't need x. This will only work in one, which is z. So no x and y. This one we want it to rotate. We definitely don't want it to scale. What happens if we see? This is a non-deforming bone anyways. So no scaling. We want the rotations. This rotation is of no use x. Okay, and our rig is ready. That's about it.